Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd personally like to welcome you all to the show. Now, over the weekend, I attended a anti-violence meeting held in Sunnyside, 4815 Reed Road. And you had OG1 there. You had Cliche there. You had K Reno there. Murder One was there. And Brother Abdul Halim Muhammad, who was hosting the event, I'd say, and made a brilliant point. People will not invest money in areas where they don't feel safe and where there's a lot of crime and a lot of violence. So this message is to the streets, right? And after I deliver this message to the streets, right, I'm going to put planned or make the plan a seeable and viable action where you'll see the plan gaining legs. It's the momentum, the movement, right? Now, this is my message to the streets. Everything has its ending. There's a time and a season for everything, right? And what was done out of a lack of knowledge was or had sympathy for a time. Not saying it was justified, but it was overlooked due to harsh treatment, harsh conditions, and a purpose for lack of educating black and brown students. Systemic racism. It was done on purpose, right? But then you had people who pushed so hard, I mean blood, sweat, and tears, for education and knowledge and just the right to know, the opportunity to know, and the access to know to where black and brown wouldn't be hindered, right? Now, i.e., you have your internet system where any knowledge that you want, you can Google it, and it basically put all colors on the same page, right? If you can type, go on your phone, and the information is ready for no matter what color you are. So it leveled the playing field, right? Once the playing field got leveled, what that did was it knocked out the sympathy for the mindset that said, look, there's nothing out here for me, so I'll just get out here and take, all right? Well, you can't justify taking because at one point we understood purposely, lack of knowledge, you had to eat, had to provide for your family. You had to get out there and do what you had to do to make ends meet. We all have done it, right? But then, bam, knowledge comes, which takes away that sympathy because now if you have a desire to know, it's out there for you to know. And so what happened was Corona hit, right? Crime went up, right? Now, jobs are there, but they're saying that there's a shortage of labor, meaning that the American people, they're saying, basically is saying, hey, we're at the point to where we just don't want to work. we'll rather be out in the streets criming and robbing our own people. They're creating that narrative. You don't want to work. You having so much fun and making so much money preying on other people to where you don't have the justification or the need for employment. You know, your employment is robbing your own people. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen. The people are fed up. They going right on that internet finding ways to defend themselves. They're taking on classes for self-defense, mental self-defense. Everybody can pack a gun now. Homeowners buying up guns. They drawn a line in the sand saying, hey man, we are not going to be a victim, especially at the hands of our own children, right? So, what do? We had to stand still. Okay, now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that don't wake them up if you don't have something for them to do, right? So, you got leaders that's out there making sure that there's something for you to do, i.e. whether it's driving a truck locally or throughout the country. They're having something for you to do, right? Because it's going to get to a point to where you just going to have to flat out come out and say, hey, look, I'm not working. I don't want to learn. I don't want to build me a career. I don't want to go to school to even learn a career. I don't want to trade, right? The only thing that I want to do is rob, jack, and hurt black people. Now, once, because you don't have to say it, once your actions prove that, right, then the response is, okay. You made your statement, you made your claim, right? Okay, we got you. Now, the retaliation is you're going to have those who saying, okay, well, look, I don't want to be robbed by you. I don't want to be jacked by you. I don't want to be hurt by you. I put up with it long enough, then let's deal, right? Now, the purpose of that is the fact that the people is saying this, right? The people are in a position to where their sympathy has ran out. Because you got to remember, it started with close-knit community and we'll say Miss Jones. The people in the community knew what Miss Jones' grandson was doing, but they overlooked it and didn't want to see the grandson locked up because they knew that it gave Miss Jones a heart attack, sent her to the grave, right? So the people basically was like, nah, we're not gonna see any ill will fall upon Miss Jones. So they kind of laid back and ignored the little devious act that the grandson was doing, hoping, okay, one day he'd change, right? Didn't call the police on him, you know. He broke in somebody's house. They knew it was him, but they replaced it, fixed the window. Some talked to him, hey, man, you know, don't do that. Don't do that, right? But time has changed. And we're not living in those times anymore. Matter of fact, Miss Jones did. She's buried and gone on. You know? And so now, people are like, hey, this is fight back uh, mode now. People are in fight. It's not fight or flight. They're like, we fighting. We not flighting. We not catching out. They digging their heels in and saying, come on, I'm tired. This is it. Right? So, what's the solution? Right? The solution is we're all business-minded individuals. The streets is a business. The goal, the objective is to take the business mind or to take the business of the streets and turn it into a business where we all can benefit from and make the same money. Right? You have to be business minded. You have to pull monies together to open up businesses that will service the community. And you have to have mentors or people that's willing to oversee the business, someone that we all trust in order to make sure that everything goes down smoothly, right? With no hiccups and no problems. You see what I'm saying? Somebody got to oversee it that everybody trusts. Because we taught not to trust each other in the streets because, hell, we don't know new situations where friends done set each other up to get robbed. Partner thought his girlfriend was down with him and she was the one that set him up. So we know about you don't trust nobody, right? But there is those in the community that have a proven track record where they didn't mess anybody over, don't have the need, the will to mess anyone over, right? So that's where we at today. So we're going to put these plans in action, right? And it'll be made public, meaning you in the streets, you're going to hear about it. Because you can't come down on nobody without offering them a way out first, is what I'm saying. You can't say, okay, look, let's just get out there and start snatching up folks that's criming within the communities and just going and end it, right? Without offering them a way out to where they can benefit themselves and a peaceful way out and where they can sustain their livelihood, right? So we got to create something and then invite people in to benefit from. Then if folks refuse and want to continue, then whatever goes down, goes down. It is what it is after that point, because you can't look your elderly peoples when they can't even defend themselves, and people who knocking them down, taking their purse and their wallet, and they they have no security and no one to turn to. Somebody got to be like, hey, man, you can't do that lady like that, man. What's wrong with you? So all of this getting ready to go down. This is just a heads up. But I'm saying, first, let's create opportunity before the action moves in. Create something that can give people a way out of their situation and circumstances. And let's build. Verbal Pick Radio. Thanks for listening.